Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer video. Today we'll be returning to our mod highlight series. This is a unit expansion mod which kinda works a bit like an overhaul too. This is Nagarythe Expanded Unit Roster, a mod which adds in a bunch of new units, lords and heroes to the High Elf faction of Nagarythe, that of the Shadow King himself. The reason why I call this more of an overhaul is because it dramatically changes how you play as the forces of Nagarythe. Instead of now having nothing but Shadow Warrior Doom stacks, you can focus around different loadouts for your armies. You can now have fully thematic armies in respect of Nagarythe. Focusing around their lore, now you can focus on full armies worth of skirmishing units, rather than mixing and matching with the vanilla roster. But let's not waste any more time and check out what I mean. Your campaigns will begin as normal. There are no major changes to this mod, but rather just a few changes here and there. As you may notice, when a Lithanar is selected, you will notice a bunch of new units. Don't worry, we'll cover them soon enough. You'll also notice that a Lithanar starts with a legendary hero right next to him. This is a unique legendary hero added in through the mod, but before that, let's look at our construction tab. Once again, everything looks as normal, barring the fact that there is one new building available in your construction tab. A 4-tiered building which will require a level 5 settlement to complete. The building itself gives you a complete new roster of units, also some new heroes, and finally campaign benefits for your region. In fact, the grand majority of everything being added through this mod can mostly be found through this building tree. If everything or close to everything is in one location, you won't have to worry too much about splitting up your buildings, especially in different provinces. That being said, don't expect to get the high tier units early on. You will be waiting a while until you can start recruiting them. The legendary hero is Shynara, a basic melee character, nothing too great until you start leveling her up. At this point you can get some skills which will benefit your army, and she does have not one but 4 unique legendary items which she can equip as she levels up. The character itself will become a bit more potent in the battlefield, but nothing too drastic in all honesty. She is rather lackluster. She is a duelist though, so it means that she will be able to do some damage to any enemies, mostly weaker characters at the very beginning, but after she gets her items, especially all 4 of them, she'll be geared out to take out some more proper actual threats. We also have access to another legendary lord, which is recruitable from your first turn. This is Alatar, a heavily armored, extremely powerful ranged lord, very much acting as a mirror image to a Lithanar. The character itself is extremely potent in the battlefield, and his special skills focus around a variety of different effects, mostly buffing up your army in not only sense of upkeep reduction, but increased range and so on. The 10% range bonus for your army is immensely incredible. High elves already can fire from very long distances. Now if you add in an extra bonus or 2, you can basically snipe out armies before they even get to you. And no, I'm not referring to just using Sisters of Avalon. Some character special skills also focus around giving you bonuses against the Dark Elves, Warriors of Chaos and Norska, so this is a lord that you'll want to keep in the far north. This mod also introduces 2 generic lords and 2 generic heroes. There is really not much to say here regarding them, as they kinda function like the other generic lords and heroes, but are more focused around the units that have been added through the mod. The lords and heroes themselves serve to upgrade other units and so on, and to lead your armies as can be expected. In most cases though, they are more or less focused around the aesthetic more than anything, as they do indeed have the generic sense about them. Sure, they all have their own benefits too, don't get me wrong, whereas the Asenar Princess, for example, can boost her own army up with 10 extra armor and more weapon strength. And the Asenar Guardian has a few spells from various different laws of magic, but in all senses their stat-wise for all 4 characters are quite generic. which is good in all honesty. They are balanced extremely well. They don't have this extra power margin where it is very common with some added characters through different mods. These generic characters end up being extremely powerful when compared to their vanilla counterparts. So it's nice to see a level of balance which works quite well. And now we'll check out the army list, which is the main bulk of this mod. As you can see through this army composition, there is a large amount of troops being added for this mod, a large majority of them also benefiting from the Vanguard special rule. All of them are extremely well balanced and do look quite phenomenal if I could say so myself. There is a level of thematic lore friendliness from a army list which is generically made up. Everything looks and feels like it should be a part of this faction. You'll notice as we start going through them, where aesthetically they look like they would be a part of the Shadow King's forces. As I stated before, with this mod, now you can have a thematic based army for the Shadow King's forces, where you will indeed still have access to your vanilla based units and anything that came through multiple DLCs, but you don't really need to recruit them. You have everything you need right here, barring of course proper spellcasters. This mod, as stated before, is not extremely lore friendly, however it's still extremely enjoyable. And to be honest, the only thing I would actually change would be the inclusion of another generic hero in the form of a spellcaster. Maybe going about with a reskin of the Lore of Stealth added in for the Skaven. Something like that, just changing a few things here and there to give the forces of Nagarythe a little bit extra oomph. That being said, there's nothing I can really complain about this mod. As far as I played through it, I actually had a lot of fun. Alithvanar has always struck me as a character which needed his own separate sub-faction, very similar to how Elfarin the Grim currently works, with unique campaign-only units. It just makes sense to me, especially when this character's lore is all about going down to hunt the Druki. You would need a specialist force, not just Shadow Warriors. I highly recommend this mod, not only if you want to play as Alithvanar again, but just because you want a completely new experience with the High Elves in general. Alithvanar's faction to me personally was always the more enjoyable of all of them, and now it's amplified even more so by the inclusion of these units. As always, you can find a direct link to this mod in the description below, and if you know of any other mods which you'd like to see highlighted on this channel, you can suggest a mod to me by either commenting it down in the comment section below, or joining the official Great Book of Grudges Discord, where it is much easier to get in contact with me. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.